Grover, also known as a goal achievement strategist. Everything in my platform is Rise Above with Patricia Jo Grover. We have the Rise Above show, the Rise Above summits, the Rise Above anthology book series, and so excited now, the Rise Above Project, which is a nonprofit under the umbrella of the Institute for the Advancement of Humanity, which is a 501c3 organization. I also have my Bliss Retreat for women, where women can learn to believe in yourself, love yourself, identify what's holding you back, set free what no longer serves you, and set course on achieving your dreams and goals. The next event is Friday, October 29th and Saturday the 30th from 10 to 2. With the Rise Above Summit that we're all here to watch, we have our level 1 sponsor, Roger Burnley, level 2 sponsors, Albert Quarry, Roger Burnley, Dr. Dolores Fazinio, Sheila Farr. And our level 3 sponsors, Shelley Deckant, Dr. Wendy Labatt, Dr. Liz Eisenring, Dan Capellan, Annie Gibbons, Christiana Totor, and Jessica Koch. And our total sponsor. Let's take a minute to hear from them.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shelley Deckant. My company is called Hello VR Plus, and I'm a certified OBM. I run an agency that provides clients with whole teams as required to complete their projects from point A to point Z. I'd be happy to chat with anybody who's looking to expand their business. They're not exactly sure how they're going to do that. They can start that conversation with me, because having a success partner who works alongside you to manage your online business, implement your plans, and achieve your bodacious goals may be the next step for your business.
Welcome to the Rise Above Summit and the social dimension of life. You may recognize who I have with me right now because she was the sponsor of the social dimension for the Rise Above Summit. Let me tell you a little bit about Shelley Deckant. She's a former member of the Canadian military. She has extensive experience in HR, office management, relationship management, assisting. Shelley is known as the relationship building boss. As a certified OBM, which is an online business manager, she now helps entrepreneurs build and expand their successful businesses. With everything that is involved in building an online business, next to your brick and mortar life, the challenges of the daily grind can be very overwhelming, and she feels it too. But her systems and processes help her to get through it, and she helps others to get through it too. And the name of Shelley's talk today is the power of building relationships. So blessed and happy to have you with us, Shelley.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Patty. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so tell us all about the importance of relationships, and you're going to talk in different terms, so that we're going to cover for what all of the attendees. Something's going to catch for some of these
Sure.
people.
Sure. So let's just start off with a little bit of history. So as Patricia said, I am former military. I spent 20 years in the military, and in the military, you absolutely have to build relationships, but they're very specific to a military world. And so it's more kind of a political, how are you going to get your promotions? You got to have friends. You got to build those relationships, but they're very focused with inside of a specific group of people. And when I left the military and started working for myself, I had a big challenge, and I know that this show really is this summit is about, how do you get past your challenges? And one of the big challenges I had was I had no network outside of the military. And when I decided to start my business, I was like, who am I going to call? Right. So there's a lot of people. The interesting thing about being in the military is you may not bump into people for years. And the military community acts like it was just yesterday. So I grew up in this, and when I meet friends that I maybe grew up as a young child, we just start continuing on our conversations, and those are all great. But when it came to actually staying connected in terms of how do I let people know what I'm currently doing, right? Um, those communication skills, they weren't there. I didn't have them, and I had to start learning them. And so I really said, what do I want to do for my business? What's the product that I want? And how am I going to get it out to my friends? How am I going to get it out to the people that I know? How am I going to get it out to the network, or how am I going to build that network? And I started by going and networking, which a lot of people, I'm sure, on here do that. They go to some networking events, they talk to some people, and hopefully they follow up. And of course, again, it's a struggle. We all struggle through stuff like that. So, unfortunately, if you're maybe a person like myself who doesn't necessarily like large groups, so I am definitely a situational extrovert, and I enjoy having conversations with people I don't know. But when you put me in with a group of a lot of people, I could be that wallflower who's going to sit up against a wall. And so I've gone through the effort of getting out to the networking, but I'm not actually doing any networking if I'm just sitting up against the wall waiting for the time to run down when I can head back home. So what I did was I found other people who were doing the same thing, and I talked to them first. And so, you can build relationships in all different ways. We each have different personalities, and we can pull those personalities and take the best of them and build relationships with them. So I would say to people, oh, hey, I see that you're just sitting there, I'd love to get to know a little bit about what you do. My name's Shelley Deckent. This is what I do. And then I'd say to them, you know what, those guys look like they could use some company. Why don't we go over there and have a conversation with them? And so that's really how I started networking. I used my skill at talking to one person, and it empowered me, emboldened me to go and talk to many people. So that was the beginning of my relationship building. Of course, I didn't know that's what it was called at the time, but networking and relationship building, that was how it really first started. Move forward, I think I'm at my 16th year out of the military and working for myself. I've transitioned through a lot of things, but the power of the networking, the power of the relationship building has stayed with me and allowed me to become that, what you would call a relationship boss. The power of hanging out for a living, and then figuring out how to transition that into business. So originally I did it as an MLMer. For everybody out there who, all of my friends who are in the MLM world, it's all about building relationships. And I used to tell people, actually, my phone used to say, hi, if I'm not at the phone at the moment, it's because I'm out hanging out for a living. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And when I decided to start working for myself, not in the MLM world, but in the virtual online world as a virtual assistant at the time, I had that power and that relationship building that I was able to bring forward and say, now, how does this fit into a traditional business outside of multi-level marketing? How does that fit in? And what I learned was, all of the structures that come from it, they're exactly the same things. You're just using them for maybe different reasons, right? So over the years, I have continued to build my relationships with my tribe. And I use different tools and stuff to do that now. My business has progressed, and I'm currently an OBM. And as an OBM, it's really about the relationships, because now it's about helping a company or a business owner build their organization through teams, through having relationships with their clients, and their champions and their employees. And so here I am 15 years later, still using that relationship knowledge, right? It goes alongside a person's business. So I truly believe that you need to have a powerful relationship CRM. You need to have a very powerful way to connect with your tribe on a consistent basis. And I thought today we might talk about how personality profiles can fit into that. So that is another tool that I've had the privilege to find and be able to share with people, because a personality profile allows you to understand the person you're talking to and make sure that when you are setting up your social media, when you are about to make a phone call to them, when you are branding yourself to a specific niche, understanding the personality profiles of the people that your tribe of your relationships allows you to focus that information in, so that you are not only understanding your niche market, understanding your avatar, but understanding your customers, right? So how about we talk a little bit about personality profiles and how I see them working. So this program that I know of, it's called Networking, an apropos name for personality profiles. What happens is a person gives you a little bit of information. They provide you with maybe their phone number, their email address, and their name. And that's all you have. And that is a common way, right, Patty? I mean, you receive them. People send links to your site, and that's all the information that you have. And now you've got to connect with them somehow. And we know that it's like between 12 and 20 connections before you actually get them to decide to make a sale from you. So shrinking that down by using their personality profile can not only help you, but it lessens their frustration because you're coming to them on their terms. So how NowSite does this is you put in their email address, their name, any contact information that you have, and you run an enhanced profile. And what happens with the enhanced profile is it comes back and it gives you all kinds of demographics. It gives you all the email addresses that person may be using, all the different ways that they connect with their people online, and then some of the basic marketing demographics, like where they live, whether they own a home, how many children they have. It all sounds a little scary, I understand, but all of this stuff is available online. None of this stuff is mined illegally. It's just an artificial intelligence that goes out and finds your presence or that person's presence online. It comes back, and if it gives you an enhanced survey, then you can click on the personality profile. And within a day, you will receive back everything that you need to know to help you get to know, like, and trust them, and have them know, like, and trust you, right? Patricia has been through this personality profile. I will say that her personality profile online is exactly the same as who she is. So, it can be scary for some of us. I know when I looked at my personality profile, when mine was done, I was like, oh my goodness, there is a lot of information here, and I'm not 100% sure I like some of this information. And so, my analytical brain went off and said, how do I change this? What little areas of this don't I like? And now what am I going to do online to try and change it? And of course, that is extremely difficult because the information is being pulled from everywhere. But it gives you areas of what type of personality Patricia has. She's very energetic. She's very focused. She's very intuitive. She has an idea that pops into her head, and by the next morning, she's got the whole plan made. right? She knows exactly where that plan is taking her and she moves towards it. We're a little similar in that way. And sometimes you're looking for people who are similar, but sometimes you find out that the person that you're about to talk to is very calm, is very mild, likes to know everything before they make a decision. If you're the type of person who, like myself, talks really fast, right? I skim over all of the information because I think having a total global view of it gives you the idea of whether or not you want to go in depth into it. I might not necessarily resonate with that person if I come at them with a very hyper, very fast-paced presentation. So by seeing that that person is more methodical, that they're more factual based, that they take time to react to questions, all of those things, I can calm myself down. I can be more factual. I can provide that information in a way that is more serving them and less serving myself. Again, it doesn't mean that I get to stay there. It doesn't mean that you should be inauthentic as you come down to their level. But if you aren't providing at least some of that information, they're not going to want to hear what you have to say or to build that relationship with you because you're not going to resonate with them. So an enhanced personality profile's got so many pages to it. It's like 7 pages. It not only tells you about the person, but it tells you what you can expect them to want to see. It will tell them how you should interact with them, maybe some words that you should use, some words that you shouldn't use. And I know how freaky this all sounds. And again, none of this stuff is illegal. It's all coming off from the internet based on how they have interacted in the past. And we have the power to use it. And we have the power to use it not just when we're trying to find people who are, who may want our product, but I use it for finding compatible teammates. If you run a personality profile when you are trying to hire somebody, so I have an HR background, and when we used to hire people, we would take a look at their resume. We knew that not everything on a resume is always 100%, and we would run a small tests for them, personality profiles, so that we could kind of get to know them a little bit more. But you can bring yourself down when you're doing a personality profile to fit the job that you're trying to get. There are ways for you to answer personality profiles in such a way that you will fit better into that job. Whereas when you allow an artificial intelligence to go out online and find that information, that is really more realistic of who that person is. And we know people have been using these forever, right? Businesses go out and they mine all kinds of information. We know that if you don't have a smart Facebook page and you're trying to get a job, there's a good chance HR is going to pick up on it. They're going to go and they're going to check those things. So I love that I can run a personality profile on a teammate just to make sure that I fit them correctly with not only other team members, but also for the client, right? I want to make sure that this is a good fit for the client. So from an employee standpoint, it's a phenomenal tool to help me make sure that I do that. When you're talking about investors, when you're talking about trying to find champions for your product, for what your project happens to be, for what your event happens to be, it's important that you have people who are going out there and championing you. Is that correct? Anyway, so being able to go out and have personality profiles on your different champions, and then being able to group them together and saying, you know what, this person, and this person, they would be phenomenal champions for this project that I have going. And you can build stuff around that. not only for the champion to be able to go out, but also so that you're attracting the correct type of personality and prospect in towards whatever the event happens to be, whatever the product or project happens to be. So there are a multitude of ways that personality profiles can be used from a business standpoint. When you're trying to make sure that your social media is focused on a certain group of people, you can run a personality profile on your tribe and then say, you know what, 50% of my people are this. I'm going to spend the next month focusing on them. And now you get to group your tribe so that you are making sure that they're not getting bored with the content that you're putting out, that it's relevant to what they're actually looking at, that you're coming at them in a tone where they can actually receive the information. So powerful, so powerful. So I really wanted to talk about personality profiles because of that. And then, of course, the other part of the networking is really about capturing that information and holding it in some form of a CRM, right? Because consistency is the key. Whenever you're networking, consistency, you can have all the information in the world that you want, but without the consistency, you don't have that ability to build it, right? So, a basic CRM. I'm a tools person. I'm a systems person. I can't change the fact that I was drawn to online business management for a reason. Part of that reason is to be able to share tools. So not only did I want to be able to share the tool of personality profiles, but I also wanted to share what you do with that information afterwards. And currently, and Patty, again, she's had the luxury of being able to start using some of these tools. I use a program called Notions, and Notions allows you to build CRMs and tables in there in any way that you want. One of the interesting things is when you you can actually set it up so that when you connect with somebody, you can have the system tell you, say you want to reconnect with them every month or every 3 months, and it'll automatically come up and remind you that you haven't talked to Brian. And then next week, maybe you need to talk to Sarah. And the week after that, maybe you need to reach out and talk to Sam. So Notions has got some great tools involved in there that can really help and give you power to make sure that you are staying connected with your tribe, not just focusing on how do I get them, but how do I nurture them, right? Because with great power comes great responsibility. And the responsibility is to make sure that not only do you know, like, and trust the people that you're working with, but that they know, like, and trust you. I think that's pretty much it. I'll put it back to Patricia, and maybe she's got some questions or something she'd like to ask me. And I thank everybody for listening to me. I appreciate it.
Wonderful, Shelley, and I am honored. I am honored and blessed to say that you are my OBM. So,
yes.
Actually, I would like for other people to understand what an OBM is, what you do, and how you serve in that capacity.
Okay, so an OBM is online business management, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So when you have a brick and mortar business, you bring your employees to work with you. They come in every day and you get to see what they're doing. And maybe you've got a business manager who's there taking care of them. Maybe that happens to be you. When you're online, and your business has grown to a point where you need to have team members, or your business has grown to a point where you need to have an extra brain working your business while you are working your business. So somebody who's working in your business, that's when an OBM comes along. And the OBM does everything from becoming Patricia's second brain to making sure that the team members that she has are completing the tasks. I'll set up structures so that everybody knows what their tasks are for the day. Everybody knows what their tasks are for the week, and that they get them accomplished. And Patricia doesn't have to talk to them all of the time. They go through me. So it gives the client the opportunity to spend more time in their genius while allowing the back end office to run more smoothly. Because as I say, we now not only have our personal world, personal life, our business life, but for a lot of us, we also have an online life. And that online life can be as challenging as all of the other lives that we have to do in a day. So when you can get somebody in there who understands your business, who's not just task oriented. Task oriented means that if you have a virtual assistant and you have to give them a job every day, then when they finish that job, they come back to you and say, I've completed that. And now what would you like me to do? And it takes away from your ability to just complete your day. So having an OBM in there cuts down on the amount of management that you end up feeling like you have to do all of the time. And the business runs a little smoother. I hope that explains it.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for sharing that. And it does, and I want our viewers here, the attendees, the summit attendees, to realize that we all, people have the brick and mortar businesses that they still have, but
they do.
Because COVID has made it more difficult for many businesses to continue, they've had to reach out and shift and pivot to have some things be online.
And some of them have found that it's been easier. Some people have enjoyed the fact that they have been able to build online, but they're hitting that breaking point now.
Exactly. And that's the point I want to bring out, because now if you're going globally and you're going online, just as I am with many aspects of my business, because I can serve everybody, it doesn't matter where they are, their age, color, sex, religion, everything. What I do can serve everyone. But the thing is, that opens up other things. That opens up different time zones, and time zones in itself can affect our business in the amount of hours that we have to put into it. So
and how you connect with your team members.
Exactly.
There's challenges.
Right, and it's challenges. And what are we all about with Rise Above? It's rising above our challenges and
exactly
finding ways to do it. So honored and blessed to have you on my team, Shelley, as my OBM, but also as a speaker on the Rise Above Summit, because the world is evolving. We are evolving as people, business people, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small businesses, and there's many people out there that want to get started but don't know how to get started and what steps there are to that. And that's why I have the different speakers coming on and sharing in the different life's dimensions, because we all have those dimensions that we're in. And we have our ups and downs and everything. It's not always that everything's straight across the board, but with the people like you coming on as speakers and sharing, it helps everyone be able to find some way that they can grow. So thanks for being with us, Shelley.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. I always
Welcome to the Rise Above Summit in the social dimension of life. Right now with me, I have Roosevelt Morris, and let me tell you a little bit about Roosevelt. He is an author, a speaker, and president and CEO of 133 Approved Funding, Inc. Roosevelt has been through several traumatic situations in life and has developed a system of awareness that can put some clarity to how things are connected and in a way to handle them from failure to success. So today he's going to be sharing with us about his concept of the three-legged stool. So Roosevelt, welcome to the Rise Above Summit, and we look forward to hearing what you have to tell us.
Okay. Good morning, Patty. Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to thank you, Patty, for having me here. It's a great program. So in my field of business, over the years, I found that people are affected in one way or another. Where we provide financing for businesses and small businesses to get started. Prior to that, when people want financing, it's to do one or two things: is to improve their business, or improve their personal situation, or to do something special for someone. Okay, so But when you have financing and when you have the things that you want and need, you're happy. Okay? So you're affecting three things in your life and people don't really think about it now. In my experience, I've experienced it several times where I've been homeless. Okay. I've been homeless. I've been rich. Okay. And I can tell you, like everybody said, rich is better. Okay. So to have a home and to be homeless does three things. Okay. And this works in all aspects. I'm speaking on me for a little bit. So when you have your finances in order, you can do anything you want to. You can go places. You can eat where you want to. You buy the clothes you want. You get the house. You can dress like you want. You can eat what you want. Okay. Now, if you don't have that, then you're either homeless like I used to be, or you live in a place that's not really safe for you, or you live in your car like I did, or you're having problems with your marriage, or your business fails and things like that, because we know capital money is a tool that, just is a system that helps you to do the things you need to do. Now, if you don't have money, you don't have your finance in order, it affects two things. It affects your relationships and your health. And how does it do that? Well, if you don't have money, what's the main thing in your relationship that if you're married or you're dating someone, what's the main thing that people talk about? Well, on average, statistics show that money is the main thing that is the cause of divorce. The wife or the husband either spend too much money, which means you can't take care of the bills, or you buy too many things, which means that other things are lacking. And someone's frugal and someone's extravagant. Like myself, I was very extravagant. So I had an extravagant wife at one point, and I had the opposite, a very frugal wife. So I know both sides of it. So the relationship suffers. And if, when the relationship suffers and there's anger and there's, fighting and everything like that, then it affects your health. Okay? You're stressed out. You have high blood pressure, or you have diabetes, or you're having, heart problems, or thyroid problems and things like this. So if your health is suffering because of financing, because the relationship suffers due to lack of financing, then everything collapses. Now we can say that health primarily would be the primary source, because if you don't have good health, it doesn't matter how much money you have or how many people love you, you're miserable. And I know a gentleman who back in the early 2000s, was a multimillionaire, but he was so sickly that he was spending every dime that he had to find a cure for that sickness. Okay, which means the money meant nothing, but it was a source to try to help him to get a cure for his disease that unfortunately he never was able to resolve. Okay, so we can see how money, relationships, and health all are part of a three-legged stool of life. And you can sit on that stool comfortably if everything is in order. Now, how often do we have that everything is in order? Not very often. Okay, it's not perfect because life's not perfect. So if you're having financial problems, that side of the stool may be a little shaky. Okay, but it's also going to affect the relationship. So that side's going to be a little shaky. And then if your health will be a little shaky, so your little stool is going to be a little shaky, right? So you're looking for ways to tighten up those legs, right? And so my area, so as far as businesses, let's look at it as a business, okay? So businesses, when things go wrong, when the finances are low, the relationships are low, which means they can't service their customers, they can't buy their supplies, and they can't take care of their bills and things. So their social and financial relationship or business relationship goes down, and then the owner, he's going to stress all the time. He can't sleep at night, or she can't sleep at night. Nowadays, a lot of women are strong in business. Okay, so we'll use the woman because women are that foundation of the world anyway. don't care what anybody said, but I go off on it. So the owner, he's looking for a solution to his finances so he can correct all the other two. And we know that once the finances are good, let's say you have a bill you have to pay, right? And then you're looking for the money. Where am I getting the money? So you're stressing. So you're asking people, and they're like, you borrow money all the time. So your relationship suffers because you borrow money all the time. You can't do your responsibility. So you think you're responsible. So people wean off you a little bit. Okay. And then you're so stressed. You're so stressed about it that you're getting angry. You're getting angry. You're thinking people don't love you and things like that. So your health suffers because you're worried so much about the money. We know that stress is a major issue in life that causes health problems. Okay, with all the things that go on. So in my business, we provide the funding to cure that one side of that stool. And so I came to the social part of it to talk to people about when you're about planning, when you go into business planning, when you're going to buy some budget, so that because those other two are going to suffer if that one is not in place. I know it because I experienced it, and I don't want anybody ever to experience homelessness, even though I was homeless in an S550 AMG, which is a nice mobile home, but it wasn't the type of thing that you want to live in back of a car. Okay. So planning. You plan your finances just like you try to plan your relationships, okay? Because if you go into a relationship just because she looks beautiful or he looks, masculine, healthy, and sexy, there are things that come with those people, those looks. And so if it's not the things that you're looking for, you need to get out, okay? Because your health will suffer if they're abusive. Your health will suffer, whether they're physical or mentally abusive, your health will suffer. Okay, if you're worried about what they're gonna feel, it doesn't matter how you feel when they bring about those abuses. You need to get out because your health is gonna suffer. And 9 times out of 10, they're taking your money. Okay, so and at the end of the day, you either be physically damaged or financially broke. Okay, so think about those. So planning, regardless of where it's plan for business, plan for relationship, and also, as far as your health, make sure that you have something in place, whether it's discounted health care or with the Obamacare or something, some type of insurance, or someone who will help you with your insurance, your parents, your sister, brother, whatever. There's a program out there for you that you can get health insurance or some form of help, whether state or just the big insurance company. But so going back to the three-legged stool, life is the top of the stool. You're in control of everything in your life. Nothing happens to you unless you're there. Okay, so you're responsible in some way, shape, or form for whatever's happening to you. So I'm just saying from a financial perspective, because money will kill anything, but money will grow everything if you're properly planned for it. And so I tell my clients all the time, the reason I don't just fund you, I work towards your full dream and your comfort and your health, because I want you educated so that if you're in this, you start a situation, you can grow beyond that situation. You don't have the relationship problems because you didn't plan well, and your health stays solid. Okay. Now, anything that comes through that I can't handle, we have doctors for it. But I'm saying mentally, financially, and emotionally, these things can be helped. So impulse buying, not a good thing. Okay. No planning for business, not a good thing. So if you don't plan, you impulse buy, then your relationship and your health is going to suffer. So these things are connected. Not only one primarily, I would say, is more important than others as far as the health, but they're all important. So the three-legged stool of life is finances, relationship, and your health. If you focus and plan on those, then your life and your business and your dreams will flourish and prosper, and you'll be happy. I'm Roosevelt Morris, president of 133 Approved Funding, looking out for you in your life. And you have a good day. If you need any more information on it, I have a free document that will discuss planning of your finances, planning of your relationships, and looking out for your health. So just go to my website, 133approvedfunding.com, and go to the info button and say, I want that document. That's all you have to say, and we'll send it to you. All right. So thank you, Patty Jo, and thank you, audience.
Welcome to the Rise Above Summit, October of 2021. I'm your host, Patricia Jo Grover, also known as a goal achievement strategist. Everything in my platform is Rise Above with Patricia Jo Grover. We have the Rise Above show, the Rise Above summits, the Rise Above anthology book series, and so excited now, the Rise Above Project, which is a nonprofit under the umbrella of the Institute for the Advancement of Humanity, which is a 501c3 organization. I also have my Bliss Retreat for women, where women can learn to believe in yourself, love yourself, identify what's holding you back, set free what no longer serves you, and set course on achieving your dreams and goals. The next event is Friday, October 29th and Saturday the 30th from 10 to 2. With the Rise Above Summit that we're all here to watch, we have our level 1 sponsor, Roger Burnley, level 2 sponsors, Albert Quarry, Roger Burnley, Dr. Dolores Fazinio, Sheila Farr. And our level 3 sponsors, Shelley Deckant, Dr. Wendy Labatt, Dr. Liz Eisenring, Dan Capellan, Annie Gibbons, Christiana Totor, and Jessica Koch. And our total sponsor. Let's take a minute to hear from them.